About to show these boys how we do it. You ready?
Higher, further, faster, baby.
That's right.
Yeah, the fate of the universe rests on Captain Marvel's shoulders, and now we are learning more about the backstory of the female superhero who was called in to save the Avengers from Thanos. Brie Larson is the star of the film, and in the movie she has recurring memories of her life as a U.S. Air Force pilot. In researching her role as a pilot, Larson visited Nellis Air Force Base, so a local hook there, and then flew in an F-16, as well. Some of our very own Thunderbird pilots actually were also asked to be on set advisors, including the late Major Stephen Cajun Del Bagno. He died back in April, you may remember, in that crash at the Nevada Test and Training Range. Also, earlier this week, the Thunderbirds flew over the Hollywood premiere, so they've been super helpful, and just wanted to kind of give them a shout out as we talk movies with Josh Bell. And this movie we're going to chat about here as he has the Bell Breakdown.
Yes.
But wanted to give that little local hook. We've been following
exciting.
it ever since that crash, and they said he was a huge influence on teaching them how kind of all worked.
Right. I mean, the movie is actually dedicated to him. It's there in the end credits, which is a nice thing for them to do.
Yeah.
And the screening that I went to earlier this week, I think there were a lot of people from the Air Force Base who were invited, and they were all cheering at the Air Force moment, so that was kind of a cool thing to see.
Yeah, it looks like a good movie. What did you think?
It's a fun movie.
Okay.
I think, you know, these Marvel movies, it's a huge machine, and they're always entertaining. I think there's so many of them at this point that you kind of hope, or at least I hope, that they'll be able to do something slightly more distinctive or different each time out now, and this movie doesn't quite manage that. I mean, it is the first Marvel movie with a female lead superhero. We've got Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, who's kind of a alien. She's not an alien, but she's a warrior on an alien planet who returns to Earth, and she has her memories wiped, and she's trying to recall her life as an Air Force pilot, as we saw there. And it's also set in the 90s. It's sort of a prequel to the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I think there was a chance for this to be a little more distinctive than it really was, or than it really is. The directors, Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck, come from these smaller indie dramas, and they do add a bit more of emotion to this story, especially as this character is trying to rediscover, you know, who she is and where she came from. And there's a lot of that gets honestly a little cheesy at times. Maybe not quite the right emotional content, but it looks great, of course, as these movies do. It's got some exciting action sequences. Brie Larson is very good as this steely, determined, you know, hero with the military background, who's not necessarily just a carbon copy of other Marvel heroes, but plot-wise, it's another origin story. She gets these powers and has to kind of learn to become a hero and save the world, and the villains are not super compelling, which is a problem Marvel has a lot of the time. I think for people who like Marvel movies or who are excited about this character, they'll enjoy it, but I was hoping it would be a little more like Black Panther or like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, where you really feel like the filmmakers put their stamp on it. That's not so much the case here.
Okay, but enjoyable?
Yeah,
seeing?
yeah.
Okay.
We're seeing, I mean, again, if you like these movies, if you're a superhero fan, it's a fun time at the theater, and it has that Marvel, like, none of these movies are bad, really, these Marvel films. They've got it down.
They deliver
really well. Yeah, they really do, and this does too, I think. Because there's so many and they're just constantly coming, I wanted maybe something that deviated a little more from their formula, and it just doesn't quite do that.
All right. Hey, we have 30 seconds. I was just going to ask you, totally unprepared.
The
new Star Wars attraction at Disneyland. You looking forward to that? I saw they announced it's going to open in May. Is that your thing?
I'm not really a theme park person, but I'm sure it'll be cool. I mean, they put so much detail and effort and you know, Easter eggs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, all of that theme park stuff is exciting for people who love that, and I'm sure the Star Wars fans are probably in line already.
Yeah, I know. Seriously, I'm thinking it's going to be probably lines for a while, right?
It'll be huge. I mean, if you want to go, you probably maybe wait a little bit, but of course the big fans will never do that. They'll be there as soon as possible.
No,
yeah.
they'll be holding their lives.
Yeah,
What were they
the
called?
lightsabers.
Yes. I was going to say lifesavers. No, those are the things that you pop in
Maybe
your mouth.
those too, you know, while you wait.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Josh, thanks for the Bell Breakdown.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next week.
All right.
Stay with us.